Welcome to. I did the best intro I've ever done, by the way, guys. That was the best. That was the cleanest one I've ever done, and it was silent. No one heard a thing. Amazing. Welcome to the Mack Report. This week we've got Vanguard Gaming. We've got Prince of Dubai and Requires from Vanguard Gaming. Vanguard Gaming have been under a few different names, but if you keep up at all with like the world warm-up scene that happened in March, then these guys were there competing, got a wee invitation. We'll talk about that a little bit later on, guys. But thank you for coming along. And sorry we had a wee pre-chat. Well, no one could hear us, but you know it was good. It was all good. How are you guys doing?
Fine, thanks.
Totally thrown off by that. You guys are like, flipping heck.
Right. Thanks for the invitation.
Yeah, no worries, man. No worries. Yeah, you said that earlier on. You said that before as well when no one else could hear. Yeah. So you guys, before this, we had. I've only ever had one person on, so having the two of you on, that'll be quite challenging. You guys can't see my face apart from on the stream as well, so guys, you need to kind of bear with that. Only OGs remember Grandwich Otto. Oh, we'll talk about that somewhere. That's on the list. I have a big old list of things. So we're going to start off just with a wee bit of getting to know you guys. We're going to call, just for ease sake, we're going to ask the guys how they get known as before. So we got Prince of Dubai is known as Pod, and then we've got Requires is known as Rick. So I'm going to call them Pod and Rick, just in case people are like, who the hell is he talking to? Because basically I'm best mates with them now, so that's my claim to fame. Lucas, OP Builders in the chat as well. Lucas almost made it on, but I think he's decided he'd rather be on the background, so that's cool. So couple of quick fire questions. How long have you guys been playing? We'll start with Pod first. We'll go captain first, and then we'll go on the other side. But yeah, how long have you guys been playing?
I've been playing since like the end of 2013. So yeah,
pretty early on from when it came out.
Yeah, I was a farmer for like 2 years before I went to the competitive scene.
That definitely seems to be the way it goes. Like.
Yeah.
What about you, Rick? What about you?
I started playing, I think it was 2014. It was my first year in junior high school. Now it is second year studies at university. So it's, I think, about 7 years.
Okay, cool.
But competitively, I play, I think, no longer than 2 years.
Okay, yeah. So. Is that similar for you, Pod, or have you been on the competitive scene since sort of Clan Wars came out?
Yeah, since it came out, basically. Besides the first couple of farm wars, I went to like the Swedish war community. So I started there, and then I worked myself up to the international scene. Then I fell off again, and now I'm back.
Happy days. What about what's your guys' favourite strats? Start with Pod. Go for it, man.
I mean, it changes from time to time, but currently, Town of 14 is definitely dragons.
Normal dragons or eye drags?
Normal dragons. I don't like the other ones. So normal dragons.
Normal dragons. Most pro players don't like eye drags. Clash Players, Avi, thank you for the raid, man. Thank you for the host. That's awesome. Guys that have just joined us, we're here with Vanguard Gaming. We're just learning a little bit about them, then we're going to get into sort of meats of the interview. Requires, go on then, tell us what your favourite strat is.
If you asked me 3 months ago, I would say without any doubt that it is Electro Dragons, Mass Electro Dragons. I still really like the strategy, but I'm not sure if so much that I used to like. But probably still my favorite.
We saw you competed in the
second place.
Super Witches, nice. So you competed in the Town Hall 14 sort of friendly challenge tournament that I did the other day, and one of the guys got to, I think, like the quarterfinals, I think, just by spamming E-Drags. It was so they're still pretty strong, like, and pretty fast. So yeah, okay. What's the best?
I started even trapping against Alex then.
Yeah. Which is the best hero?
I think Grand Warden.
Grand Warden?
Grand Warden or Royal Champion.
Royal Champion. What about you, Pod?
So what was the question?
What's the best hero?
The Archer Queen, definitely.
Archer Queen. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. And favourite Town Hall level?
14.
14.
I think 14. I play only on Max Town Hall.
And
Yeah.
are you enjoying it? We're going to talk about like the update in a little while, but is it? There was a lot of sort of fear, I think. Increase my volume. Okay, here we go. That's the first people tell me to turn up. There was a lot of fear at first, I think, with Town Hall 14 coming out. Is that still the case, do you think? Or are you guys sort of getting into it a bit more and sort of liking the look of it and finding it interesting, or are you still not quite sure?
After every update, I mean, not even Town Hall update, but just update when some balance changes are done, I always have like nothing in my mind and can't really find myself in wars. But somehow it works still.
Yeah. Cool, man. Cool. Did we get favourite Town Hall level for? Yeah, we got that from both of you, didn't you? Sorry, guys, I'm forgetting. Right, okay, we're going to talk about hey, Fluxy's in, Fluxy, your teammates in as well. So, Simmers mentioned it earlier on. You guys have gone along as various different names, and what was quite interesting when we were talking about this is one of the main things I really wanted to talk to you guys about. It was a bit of a meme for a while. Whenever I was introducing you guys on stream, I'd be like, people would be like, who are these guys? I'd be like, oh, you know them. They're formerly Grand Witch Auto, formerly Baby Sharks, formerly Unicorns of Love. And they're like, oh, right, oh, yeah, oh, right, yeah. And when they see the lineup, they know you guys. But you guys were kind of unaware of this sort of thing. But I don't know if it's just me, but it was a little bit of a meme in the community that basically you guys quite quickly bounced between quite a few different names. And I don't know, I was just...
no idea.
Yeah, and you guys are like, what? It's not a thing.
I think we played under 5 names.
5 names.
In half a year.
So what one have I missed? What's the one I've missed?
It was Unicorns of Love, then it was Baby Sharks, then it was
Empire Gaming.
Empire
Gaming. Okay, yeah.
Grand Witch Auto, and now Vanguard Gaming.
So, and was when you came together as Unicorns of Love, was that when the sort of team? And I know you've had Fluxy and OP Builder just join you, but before that, was that sort of the main team coming together as Unicorns of Love, or were you a team before that as well?
Before Unicorns of Love, it was only me and Pingu. Then we added Peng, and then we added Rick. We had a 5th guy named Aziz, but he doesn't play with us anymore.
Okay, cool. And so, what was the reason behind all the different moves? Because I think you guys have got you guys have got an explanation for all of them, but it's quite interesting from our point of view. Because just tell us about that. What happened with all of that sort of stuff?
So when we were playing under Unicorns of Love name, we got nothing, like only name. It was cool, but that was just it. Then I don't remember who, but said that we can get contract in Baby Sharks.
Mm-hmm.
We were there for a few days, but we had an argument with one guy who was managing Baby Sharks. So we decided not to sign in. And at similar time, Peng said that Empire Gaming can sign us. So we were waiting for contract like with 2 months delay or even longer. I don't remember. And when we got these contracts, they were really amateur and didn't look like... I mean...
hey, that's fair enough.
I read... Okay, I didn't read many contracts, esports contracts in my life, but this one, I think I could write better one than this.
Cool, man. So it wasn't for you. That's fair enough. Yeah.
I mean, I just felt it was too risky to sign something like this, and most of them too.
And then, so then
we had a bad feeling.
Yeah. So then was Grand Witch Auto sort of you just operating on your own for a little while? Was that because you were Grand Witch Auto for a bit of a longer time, weren't you?
Like Grand Witch Auto was my first competitive clan with the Swedish community. So we had that clan, and it took me like 2 years to get the leadership of that clan. So I waited a long time. So we had the Grand Witch Auto as a backup.
Right, okay.
We said, let's play on the Grand Witch Auto until we find the right organization.
So it's probably a process that actually quite a lot of esports teams go through, and actually quite a lot of players. Like if you look at Lucas in the chat there, OP Builder, he went from Silent Snipers, decided to move on, went to J-Off, and then actually thought this isn't quite right, and then came to you guys. So it's just probably that you guys end up doing it in quite a public way, where you were moving around and making the sort of almost the formal name changes before
we
you
didn't know
maybe
that it was public.
yeah before you'd sort of like realized, before you'd sort of like tested the water. And then obviously Vanguard Gaming. When did you join when did you become Vanguard? Sorry, join Vanguard. When did you join this esports organization? And I suppose, are you happy?
Like first week of 2021 or second week, we joined Vanguard.
Yeah, like beginning of January.
Yeah, we're happy. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like the first organization to back us in the right way.
Yeah. And so you feel like you're getting the right support and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, that's cool, man.
I mean, you can always wish for more, but I'm happy with Vanguard Gaming.
Hey, don't let's not go for public negotiations on here. Pod and Rick, you're getting loads. I don't know if you guys can both see the chat, but you're getting loads and loads of love. Guys, we're not going to interact with the chat very much, I'm sorry. But do keep putting your questions up. I have got questions from the viewers, and I will ask them some questions from the viewers as we go as well. But yeah, just keep an eye out on that, guys. But sorry if I'm not acknowledging you. Yeah, you're reading the chat as well. Nice, man. So tell us about like the life of a pro player. How long do you guys play per day, and sort of what do you do to practice?
You want to start?
I can start. I think that before signing and after signing, my gameplay didn't really change. I still play the same way. I play as much as I used to. We just got a little help, so just our base building could go to another level. Because before this, our defense was really, really bad most of wars.
Yeah, I think that's quite a common thing, quite a common problem that people have, where they're good attackers, but maybe not the best base builders. Base building takes a lot of time, doesn't it? So it's a slightly different skill. What about you, Pod? How long do you sort of practice per day?
It's different now compared to a couple of years ago. When I was in the university, I had a lot more free time, so I could play for like 5 to 6 hours per day. And now I think, like, I get home from work around 6, so I usually play 2 to 3 hours per day.
Okay, cool, man. And someone's actually asked in the chat. We've got a guy asking. Moja's saying, how long would it take for a beginner to reach your level? I think besides the sort of year and a half, at least, maybe longer than 2 years that it would take to get to Town Hall 14, assuming they've already got a Town Hall 14, but they're just not a very good player. How much effort and time? How would you suggest that someone gets into becoming a pro player?
Like YouTube videos, first of all, to see new strategies, test them out in friendly wars. I mean, and getting the mechanics and skills, it takes a lot of time. So I think if you start from square one, like if you just got a Town Hall 14, I think it would take you at least like 6 months to be an average player. Then after that, I don't know. It takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
I agree with Pod. It's mostly trying new things on friendly challenges or friendly walls, but also you need a will to spend some time on watching base and analyzing it.
So like getting
creative.
Because it's not always about gameplay. You can just find a proper strategy for a base rather than good base for a strategy.
Yeah, I'm definitely guilty of that. The way that I attack is I've got an army that I'm comfortable with, and in war, I just do farm wars, and I try to find a base that fits that. If I can't find it, then I make a base fit that strategy, and I normally don't 3-star when I do that, but that's kind of... I play it all the wrong way. So
I think that hurts you more than... I don't think you benefit from that aspect. Like if you force an army to a base.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I know I'm doing it wrong, but yeah, that's.
I mean, just a general tip. So you have to adjust your army after base if you
Cool,
want to
man.
get good. Yeah.
And so we've talked about that. So when you're playing and you're practicing, you're doing friendly challenges and friendly wars. And Paul, you sort of mentioned that when you were at uni and now, so this is not, so being a pro player is not your main income, which I kind of,
No.
I put this one as knowing the answer, but I know that people will be wondering that. What, so it's not your main income. What do you do in the real world?
I'm a social worker.
Cool, man.
Yeah, in one of Sweden's biggest municipalities. So I work from like 8 to 4 or 5. So I'm gone most of the day.
Cool, man. What about you, Rick? Are you still at uni? Cool.
I'm at university still.
Cool, man.
It's second year. I'm studying computer science.
You've just got a young face like me. That's what it is. Still being at school, man. You didn't understand that at all. You're like, whatever. You totally missed what I said there. What about like your greatest team achievement? And this might have to go beyond. Well, maybe not. But since you've been together as a unit, not necessarily under the name of Vanguard, what's been your greatest team achievement?
The warm-up tournament, definitely.
Yeah.
That's the biggest one so far.
I think that we got invitation to World's warm-up is the biggest achievement.
The fact that you even got an invite.
That was unexpected.
Yeah.
Like 1 week before we got the invitation.
That brings us perfectly on to what we're going to talk about next. We are going to talk about the World's warm-up, and I already had it down, but someone's actually asked me about this. But what I'd want to do first is we're going to take a wee break from questions, give you guys a chance to sort of not be talked at the whole time or talking the whole time. We've been doing this click speed testing, and you guys have been having a little bit of a practice. We're going to start off with Rick. He's going to give us a wee go, so you need to grab your phone, mate. I'm going to put the scoreboard up because I've spent some time and I've made a scoreboard and everything, so this is probably not going to work now, but here's the scoreboard. It looks horrible. It's not quite in the centre of the screen. It's pretty good, though. So we've got
I want to see the scoreboard.
So we've got our previous competitors there, and I'm definitely going to have to change some things about this. Like, the font is horrible, I've decided immediately, and it doesn't fit with my new layout that I've got, so this is all great, isn't it? But there we go. That's our current click speed challenge. Now, Kiki and Brothers, although we didn't do it on screen, they sent us sent me screenshots of it. Ted had a bit of an issue, and got a really low score. And obviously Clash Royale Styles with 10.2 there. So, Rick, when you're ready, you guys go. Pod, I look like you're having a practice at the moment, Pod, but we'll get you to do your live one later on. But you can have a practice just now.
Does it matter if it's phone or tablet?
It doesn't make any. Well, it probably does make a difference. I don't know. One's probably got better sensitivity than the other. I don't know, but go for it, man. It's always funny and probably a nice little clip of you concentrating really hard on your phone and battering it with your hands. It makes quite a nice fun clip. So anyway, right. So when you're ready, go for it, and then show us the screenshot of it.
Okay, so I can start about now.
Yep. Need some music for this. Dum 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 dum. Excitement music. Oh. Are you done?
11.8.
Let me see. You've got to show it to the cameraman. You can't just tell me the highest score. Where's that?
Does it work? I mean, do you see it?
Where is it? Oh, there it is. I do. 11.8 flipping it. Right, okay. Requires is Rapido straight into the top spot. I'm not fancy enough with my my pen doesn't work now. Not fancy enough with my settings to add you to the leaderboard right now. But I will write it down and we'll get you added in for next week. But flipping heck, mate, that's fairly fast. Paul, are you confident in beating that?
No, not at all. Because, like, it's not registering my clicks. It's zooming in and out.
I think that's the problem some other people had. Right, okay, let's get back to the chat. So we will talk about the warm-ups. So the big question was, how did you get an invite? Do you know why you were picked out? Why you were why you were invited. It sounds like you were a bit surprised by it, but I had a couple of people ask saying, "What's going on with that? How did you get an invite to the Worlds?"
I mean, we didn't do anything to like talk to Supercell in some kind of way. Like, I don't know why they picked us specifically, but there were no talks beforehand about the.
It's just totally out of the blue.
Yeah. So we had no
Awesome.
time to prepare or anything, and all the builders were occupied already. So
Yeah.
it put us in a bad spot like 1 week before.
So that's actually because that's one of the questions I have later on. Is how did you prepare for it? So you didn't really have very much time to prepare at all, because
No.
I saw Logan chatting about. So the whole process of getting in was a bit strange, where you had the top teams with 15 players in them having to select 5 to end up at the Worlds, to end up going to the World warm-ups and all this sort of stuff, and it was really quite a strange system to get through, and really difficult for teams like yourself who only have 5 or 6 players in the squad to then be like, oh, okay, let's get a team of 15 together, ask some guys to carry us, to then not be allowed to go. It's a really strange system anyway. That's just, I'm putting my own opinion on this massively.
I agree.
Yeah, it's a really bizarre system, isn't it? I'm really surprised they haven't switched it to like a Champs 1 being 5v5. Do you know what I mean? Just being a...
I mean, Supercell usually catch up like 6 months after pro community.
Right,
So
yeah.
I don't expect any changes anytime soon.
Yeah. Happy days.
Next year, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Next year they'll come up with something. So how did you find the experience? What was it like? Was it good or horrible? You guys left not super early, but fair. Like day 1 or day 2 you got to?
Day 1.
Yeah. So how did you find it?
I think it was a really nice event. I was stressed, very stressed, but I also noticed that I learned how to control it, because when I was playing here in ESL with my Polish friends, my hands used to shake a lot, and I just couldn't stop it during attacks. And when we were playing in warm-up, then I was stressed, but my hands almost didn't shake. So at least I could see this progress.
Yeah, so it's sort of the experience has benefited you. It's like developed you as a player.
Yeah, for sure.
What about you, Pod? How did you enjoy it, or did you not enjoy it?
No, I enjoyed it. Even if we lost the first round, it was like our first really big tournament. So it was like highly appreciated that we got the invite, and like we got to play under pressure, which we don't do very often.
Yeah, and it is it's the biggest pressure that you can get. It's like you had literally thousands and thousands of people watching you, and yeah, I was rooting for you. It was rough. Actually,
it was a tough bracket.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal, and I loved it. So Lucas is in the chat. I love that OP Builder just went for his patented 3 super wall breaker queen charge, and I've seen him pull them off, those crazy queen charges straight into a CC and all that. His queen got roasted almost immediately, and it was brutal. And I was like, oof, I think he's learned from that. But I've seen him do that and pull that off. But yeah, they trapped it. Yeah, and yeah,
it was
that's what
his blimp. That was the main issue.
Was it the blimp? Oh, it was the blimp. Yeah, the blimp with them with the queen charge. Yeah, I can't remember. I just remember it going wrong, and then thinking, oof. And he got the 2. He took it out. But yeah. Anyway, yeah. Don't remind him this. Sorry. Yeah, sorry, OP Builder. Sorry, man. So, what do you think of the new match format? So it's a lot shorter and all that sort of stuff. What do you think of that? Are you enjoying that? Lots of leagues are sort of picking that up as well.
It's stressful, but I think we're going to get used to it, because every new change, people are going to complain and then they adjust. So I think we just need to get over the first phase of complaining.
Yeah, at the beginning it was very hard to make it, to have first attack so quickly, and that we basically couldn't plant everyone together. But after some time we learned how to do it, especially that we have 2 players that almost every war can hit after 3-4 minutes.
Yeah, so they know their sort of their plan style. And do you guys have a mix? So, Rick, you said that your favourite strategies like E-Drag. So have you got that sort of combination? You see a lot of esports teams have got this at the moment where you've got like guys that like doing like the more intricate attacks. Sorry, I'm not trying to mean that in a disparaging way, and guys with slightly more sort of just mass sort of hit, if that makes sense. And then having a balance between both of them is really useful in the team. Do you find that that's useful, or is that just kind of happened by accident that you've got a bit of a mix of that?
I don't know why. I just really like air spam attacks, like Electro Dragons and Inferno Dragons. But I like Electro Dragons even more because no one is using them. So when I look at every base and I see something that just has to work with Electro Dragons, then I just attack it with Electro Dragons. It doesn't happen often, but works almost every time.
Nice, man. What about you, Pod? Does that come into your sort of like your team makeup? Is that sort of like a process you go through, or is it more just looking for someone that fits with the camp? What do you look for in like a new player? So you've just added Fluxy and Lucas. What was it that got them in?
Have to be versatile.
Have to be versatile.
Yeah, but Lucas uses a lot of queen charge attacks, so that's like one of the most difficult strats to do. Queen charge Lalo. So if you find a player that's really skillful on that means he's usually good with other stuff as well.
Cool.
So either versatile or really, really good at what they do.
Right, yeah, nice. And do you think chemistry is important at all, or do you think that's not?
Yeah, definitely. That's why we stick together, most of us. Like me, Peng, Rick, and Pingu. We've been together since Unicorns of Love.
Yeah.
So we have good chemistry within the team.
Yeah, it's good because I think probably one of the biggest upsets in the World's Worms, or the team that underperformed. And you guys can choose to avoid commenting on this. I'll throw it out there.
Mm-hmm.
But Space Station Gaming, I was so excited for the lineup of players that they had put together. And then I don't know if it was just too early. They hadn't been together for very long or something, but I feel it maybe just wasn't enough. They hadn't, as a team, these individuals hadn't been playing together as a team very long. And maybe that was what sort of let them down a little bit. I don't know.
I think they just need more time. Like all the new teams need more time together. So I think they will be one of the best teams.
Yeah.
In the next qualifiers.
Yeah, you think you'll see them getting Fluxy's yelling no comment all the way through. Fluxy trying to be sensible. This is bizarre. And what else have I got written down here? Sorry guys, I'm referring to my notes again. So what was it like? What was different about the Worlds? Did you end up having to like play on camera and all that sort of stuff? Can you just tell us a little bit about that sort of experience?
It wasn't
on camera. Oh, okay, cool. So is that something that's coming in the future then? Is it?
I hope so.
Without camera.
Yeah.
With camera.
Yeah.
I think that in Wars there will be cameras because it's only 6 teams. I understand that it could be hard for them to prepare and watch every.
Okay, yeah. So for the warm-ups, it was slightly different. I understand. Got you.
But well, I don't know how it went in second weekend because there were only 8 teams left. So they could prepare all setup and play with it because $40,000 is not little money.
Yeah. Oh, definitely not at all. Cool. Anything else? The question I've got at the bottom is what do you learn from it? Anything else you want to talk about? That you're up for going back again. You got a plan for how you're going to get there? With this new format, you got a team set up with 10 other players, or are you just gonna?
Not yet.
Not yet. So if anyone wants to carry Vanguard Gaming, you're looking for support, yeah? We'll put it out there.
Yeah, definitely. But I don't think any team want to like sacrifice 5 or 10 of their own players. Like if you play SCWL, you probably want the chance to play the qualifier. So I think it's pretty difficult to find someone to help us out.
Yeah. So, but so you've got Grand Witch Auto as in fact that name, that clan name's been changed now, hasn't it? that right? You guys know.
No.
No,
you know
we have it as a backup. We have
you've
3
got a
clans.
Vanguard Gaming clan. So
Yeah.
what we'll do is, I think Logan's still in the chat. I don't know. I'm just putting this out here now. If anyone's interested, then Logan, if you can put maybe Vanguard's Discord link in, if they want to come, if people are interested in joining and helping get Vanguard into the things, then there we go. There you go. Simmers is saying DMs are open, so there you go. Any 15-year-olds watching, yeah, anyone who's a decent player who definitely can't make it to the Worlds, but is interested in helping out, yep, there we go. Sorted. There we go. We'll get you some players, guys. It'll be sorted. It'll be fine.
Yeah,
That's
you.
a public service. And Rico is in the Rick's in the chat as well. So next I've got down on the list, Pod, is for you to do your click speed test. So are you ready?
I mean, it's not really working because if you can see 4.1, it's not
do you want to give it one more go? Because I mean, you can't get any worse than that, to be honest, mate.
I mean, it doesn't register my clicks. It just keeps zooming in and out. So,
oh, nightmare.
Yeah, sorry.
Right, well, I'm putting that down, mate. You're 4.1. Done.
Yeah, do that.
Pod, 4.1. Sorted. Easy.
Yeah, it's not working. Yeah.
Hey,
That's
that'll be
fine
good.
with me.
Just write down 14.1 says Foxy. Oh yeah, we typo. Happy days. Right, we've got more questions. I'm going to talk about some sort of the update sort of stuff now. You guys both said Town Hall 14 is your favourite town hall. What's the favourite? What are you thinking about the update in general? Are you enjoying it now that we've had a bit of time to get into it?
It's pay to win. At the moment, it's pay to win. So, but I think next couple of months it's gonna be more balanced when everyone is upgraded.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the same. I really enjoy Town Hall 14. I mean, the gameplay, new mechanics, I really love them, but I don't like this pay-to-win aspect.
Yeah.
Because everything is too long, and now with pets, where you can upgrade only one at a time.
And there's no way to speed them up, is there? Apart from a hero book. There's no potion that you can chuck in that pet house to move things along a little bit. What should Supercell have done differently then?
Postpone the first qualifier. That's the easiest way. So that honestly I don't know, but maybe they have like sponsors or something so they can push it up.
I think they already pushed Worlds back like 3 months.
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? So if you look at last year's Worlds, they started in March, I think, didn't they? So the fact that the update, I don't know if they maybe had some issues with the update. It was a huge update that they released. So I don't know if they maybe had some issues with that, and so that meant that it got pushed back. It might be that in their head they always planned to sort of release it around about January, February time, and then it just got put back month on month, and then, they can't make a town hall every 12 months. Yeah, exactly, Fluxy. I think the thing I found, I think what you're saying, that pay to win, I think the guys that are kind of like me who enjoy war but don't really do anything too serious, then that's fine. I'll just take my time. I'll get through it. It's a little bit frustrating having a level 1 unicorn at the moment. I only just unlocked my unicorn. Do you know what I mean? And it dies almost instantly. It's completely useless. But if you compare that to and then the guys at the top end, like your guys that are proper bankrolled, like MCS, alternate attacks, maybe not even MCS, but alternate attacks, and these guys will all be matched right. You can see that on like the stuff that's out, or the competitions that they're playing in already. But
we experienced that the first day. Like ESL day 1 was the first, like the same day as the update.
Yeah.
So we faced ATN the first match, and they had max level pets. So it was they probably would have won anyways, but
but it gives you an excuse, doesn't it?
Yeah.
They were maxed with potion, but they had already most defenses maxed. Heroes halfly upgraded, and all pets on I think 5th or 6th level.
Yeah.
But they upgraded smart, because instead of upgrading the heroes, they upgraded the pets. And then with the hero potion, you get everything to max at the beginning.
Yeah.
I think most of us did it like the opposite way. Heroes and then pets.
People were just
And
used to
I-
getting heroes up, weren't they? They're just sort of...
I
Yeah.
did the opposite way because I knew that pets will take very long time anyway, and upgrading them now won't really change much. So I just farmed to upgrade my heroes, have them already done, and I can just play everything like normally.
Cool, man. So there's an interesting story. I don't know how much you guys know about this, but like ESL talked about the competition you're taking part in just now. I don't know if they got wind of the update before, like from Supercell got like a bit of a heads up about how big an update it was. But they released a statement saying, we want this to be fair play. We're going to keep the ESL Mobile open as a Town Hall 13 competition so that it's fair play. And then they flipped on that within about 3 days because the outrage of like, what you doing? You can't have the top level competition being a Town Hall 13 competition when it's to qualify for a place potentially in the Worlds, and that's a Town Hall 14 competition. It doesn't make any sense.
That's what.
And then they reversed it. What's your thoughts on that? Can you see where they were coming from?
It's always like, I mean, it's always like that when there comes new updates. You have the pro community in one corner and then Supercell in the other.
Yeah.
So now you have ESL in the same corner as Supercell, and you have the pro community complaining and giving advice, and it takes them a while before they catch up.
Yeah.
So I don't think that Town Hall 13 statement was really thought through.
Yeah.
Yes, but it also shows that they don't really play Clash of Clans or know how esports in this game works.
Yeah, don't understand the sort of the esports mentality. Yeah. Because I think, so to be fair to Supercell, if you go back like many moons ago when they were just well off the mark all the time with just the community in general, they were way off line with the community on like what they were thinking. I think they're better with like the main player base, but I think the reality is that this esports side of things that I stream most of and you guys play in is actually a tiny, in terms of revenue and everything, it's actually a tiny little proportion of the Clash of Clans like sort of player base. But it is a high profile part of it, isn't it? So it's a really difficult balance, like.
I think they should push the esports scene a lot more than they do. Like they push it when it's time for their like their tournaments or their stuff. But like
you mean like the community stuff?
Like they don't focus on the community stuff as much as they focus on their own events. They start making publicity when it's time for their own stuff. But we like the rest of the months of the year we play community leagues. So I think if they paid more attention to that, like more publicity, the esports scene would be a lot bigger.
That's a fair point, man. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool, and that's an interesting perspective on like the mobile open sort of side things and all that sort of stuff as well. Right, we're on to viewer questions now, guys. We've got a fair few, so we'll bounce through these as quickly as possible. The first one got was from Kiki, who's on the show a wee while ago from Clash Champs, and he's asked sort of about like the prep that you do for wars. He said, do Vanguard research opponents before facing them? If so, who in the team usually leads that? And we'll start with that one. So go with that, and then he's got a second question as well.
I mean, all teams do that. You have to research your opponents to see what they use. But like the offensive meta is a lot. It weighs more than the defensive meta right now. So you can't do much about it unless you bait them. Like you build a base there. I mean, I know MCS does this. So they build a base that the opponent has already attacked, and they bait that entry.
Yeah.
Yes, but I think we research opponent only when we play against some really strong team and we know it in week before or even two. Like I remember when we found out, I think it was Clash Champs Cup, that in round of 16 we'll be playing against PlayStation Gaming. So we just know them, we know what they are playing, and we kind of knew that we have to prepare for Lalo, but it still was hard to predict what they will do.
Yeah. And the second one from Kiki is: does Vanguard put more emphasis on defense or offense? What's kind of touched on this a little bit earlier on. What's your main focus?
Like, it depends on which player on the team you ask. If you ask us, probably the offense. If you ask someone like Peng, which is our main base builder for wars, he would say the defense. But I think most of us would weigh towards the offense.
Yeah, I think that Pingu also put more emphasis to defense. I think it's like half to defense, half to offense.
50-50.
Yeah, you have like Lucas, OP builder, Peng, and Pingu, which are our main builders in the team. Then you have me, Rick, and Fluxy, who probably
Lucas plays a lot anyway. I mean, does many attacks, so I would say halfly to defense, halfly to offense. But maybe I don't know. Well.
Nice. Okay, we got a couple of questions from Ted here as well. Who's the biggest potato on the team? I think that's a nice one. Obviously, you two are here, and there's some people in chat, but I mean, you can say whatever you want. The response from them will be delayed, so crack on.
It's Pingu.
It's Pingu. I love that there was no hesitation, and Fluxy and Lucas have both put it in at the exact same time. That's amazing. Rick, do you agree, or are you going to say Pod?
We just, I don't know why, but we just started calling him Potato.
That's usually what we call the newbies, potatoes.
I think it started this way, that someone started calling potatoes players that didn't triple that war. Then it somehow changed into calling potatoes our two Swedish players, and then mostly Pingu.
Nice. Alex, sorry, just going to chat to the chat quickly. Alex, thank you for the sub. Also, Paco came in with a sub earlier on as well, and Gur with a follow. Yeah, mate, my mic is all messed up. Right at the start of the stream, no one could hear anyone. So, the fact you've got me in your left ear only, you got something. At least you can hear a little bit of me. So, yeah, it's all good. And Keki, thank you for the follow as well. Second one we've got from Ted here is... you only want to hear the potatoes anyway. And how great is Ted? Also from Ted. I mean, he's setting himself up for an interesting comment there. But yeah, go for it. Ted has been on this show. Show? Yeah, that's what we call that.
When I joined Crunch Time because of Ted, it was over a year ago. I heard from many people that he talks very much. I don't know how to say it, but he says much, and that's it. And I realized that some people don't really like him.
He's a bit Marmite, is he?
But he's the man that brought me to this team, because it was after one qualifier on ESL a year ago when my team, I mean, it wasn't really even serious team. It was just me with some friends. We got to quarterfinals and lost to Tribe Gaming. And after a few hours, Ted wrote to me and asked if I wanted to join Unicorns of Love. And he said that there are some very good players. I checked it and decided to join. And later, he was the man that connected us with Vanguard Gaming. So I must admit that he may have his own ways of doing things, but after all, he does them very well.
Hey, nice man. That's good. He must have been fishing for a compliment when he throws out questions like that.
What kind of fucking question is that?
Yeah.
But yeah, Ted does a lot of great stuff. Like, he brought Peng and Rick Curious to our team, so he has big bonus points from us. And then he also connected us with Vanguard, as Rick said. And also, he does a lot of tournaments, which I think is great. Like, he has a lot of connections.
Yeah, he is. He is. I was saying this before. I described him last week as one of the most connected guys in Clash of Clans, who isn't like, he isn't a content creator. Right? Do you know what I mean? He's just like that was probably one of the first times that people saw his face. Do you know what I mean? When he was on the stream. last week, and it's just like it's such a bizarre thing. Right, we got a couple. So you're managed not by Ted. You were in the past managed by Ted, but you're managed by Logan. There's a couple of questions here about Logan. One from, and we'll sort of let me cover them both at the same time. I need to scroll up and down a little bit here, but we've got the first one here from a guy called Dad from Canadian Brew, who's asked, "Do you know Logan is from Texas?" I mean, I don't think that's too much of a problem. And then
I don't think that's a surprise. We knew that already.
Savage Beast has asked, "What do you like about your manager?" So go for it. Tell us about Logan. But how do you? It's a really interesting job. The manager within a Clash of Clans esports team.
It's like he does a lot of behind the scenes stuff. So I don't think the manager position is really appreciated as much as the players in the community. But he does a great job. He's a part of our family in Vanguard Gaming.
I agree. I think so far he is our manager for 3 months, I think. And I can't really remember any big mistake that he did.
Just lots of little ones.
It always
small ones that he could,
when it goes from summertime, that's always an issue.
Yeah, he almost screwed me up with timings earlier on. He told me that this was going to start in 2 hours' time. So yeah. Anyway,
he's a great manager.
Yeah, happy days.
Really great manager.
So we've got one from Reaper Remix, who's the Vanguard CEO. Said, between the two of you, who is the better all-round player? There we go.
I can answer that. It's Rick. He's one of our best players. Probably one of the best players in the community. So that's an easy question.
Pod like a hero. That is the captain stepping up and sacrificing himself like that. Rick, do you agree?
Yeah. I agree, I think.
Amazing. So Wangs has asked, how would you feel about being in a no pet tourney starting in 4 weeks' time?
Is it a real tournament or just a question?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. If it's a real tournament, I wouldn't mind streaming it. But
I have no idea that we are participating in such tournaments, honestly.
No, I mean...
what do you think about the concept of... So people talked about that for the Worlds, and way potentially making the Worlds a bit fairer, is that the first Worlds has like a no pets rule or something like that.
I mean, you can't exclude parts of the game. I think that's a bit too much. So sure, if you want to make a tournament without pets, we could play it. But if I had to choose, I wouldn't take away a part of the game.
Yeah,
I actually think this might be fun tournament, especially that we can just opt out pets from attack. And at least at this point, I think that offense, if you know what to do, is really overpowered.
Yeah, so that's one of the main things about Town of 14, isn't it? Is that everyone thought that potentially from this move from 13 to 14, you'd get potentially a bit more of a defense heavy, or maybe just a little bit less offense heaviness. And then they introduced 5 extra hero levels and 40 levels of pets. So once they all get maxed, do you think Town Hall's 14's balanced at the moment, or is it just too early to tell? Just with the
I mean, it's not balanced
so
yet, but I don't agree with people saying it's broken, because if it was that broken, you would see 15 to 15 wars all the time. Right now, you see people scoring 10, 11, 12, which is pretty usual.
Yeah.
Then you have the OP teams always scoring 13, 14, and 15. We're getting there, scoring high every war. But I don't think it's broken, but it needs to be balanced a bit more.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. And I think that's the challenge, isn't it? Because like we were talking about before, we've got this massive player base of people like me who I hardly ever 3-star, man. When everyone says that
I agree on point that it is kind of not overpowered, but these 5 levels to every hero and 1 additional spell is like a boost for a better players, I think, because if you know what to do, then this is really enough to triple every base, even if it is maxed already.
I mean, you can do some ridiculous stuff. I just saw one attack. I think it was from Crazy Ryan on Space Station. He had 1 of every troop, and he almost tripled. So in that aspect, it might be a bit unbalanced, but I don't think it's broken.
Cool. I like that. That's good. That's a nice balanced answer. Balanced.
Yeah.
There. Pingu asks, who's the best base builder on the team? So I think that by default means you can't say Pingu, but yeah.
Yeah, Ping is our main base builder, but Pingu is
He's learning.
not like he's a good base builder, but he doesn't build the same amount of bases that Ping does.
Ah, right, okay, got you.
Yes, that's the difference. But very often when Pingu defends, it is his base, sometimes Peng's base, but when he defends, he says he is best builder in the world, even if it is Peng's base.
He's decided to run it, so it's his base then. Ping gets nothing. I get it. Demo asks, how do you deal with Lucas and Fluxy in one voice chat? So Demo from Silent Sniper, so knows
Easy.
Lucas from before. Do you just have them
You
both on
mute.
mute? Yeah. So they're both deafened, right? Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
Honestly, it's not. For me, it is not a big deal because I can focus with people talking around, so they can just talk. They are funny very often, so
Yeah,
it doesn't interrupt me during attacks. So for me, it's just okay.
like they're a great addition to the team. Like we have a lot of fun on voice chat. But for me personally, I usually turn all sounds off. It's not because of Lucas or Fluxy. Yeah. I have a hard time concentrating when everyone is talking at the same time. But yeah, we can deal with them.
So do you guys use spotters during attacks or anything like that, or do you?
Usually, yeah. But for me, I think I'm the only one who doesn't like.
You don't have spotter.
Yeah.
And
Most of the time.
Rick, is that often a problem, or does that not? Is that not a problem?
No, for me, it was never a problem.
No, I was wanting you to throw spotter in there, say that. Oh yeah, whenever he doesn't have a spotter, he misses that archer at the left hand side of his army. Yeah. Well, I've got one more here. Fluxy has asked, who is the most annoying on the team? I think it's. I think we've got a close call here. This might be a hard run thing, but go for it.
Nice question.
Yeah, I'm just reading the questions. It's from Fluxy,
like,
man.
in a specific moment, I think there's one person I can think of.
Yeah, I mean, it is a question that I don't want to answer publicly, but I think team knows who do we think about.
Okay, so I mean, we could maybe set up a little poll in the. I might just do that just now, guys. I'm just going to set up a little poll in the chat, and we'll see what the public thinks. If we mainly Fluxy and Lucas, so I'm just going to put two names in.
I don't think they'll get it. It's the least expected one.
Wait, so does it need to be all five? I've only got 5 slots. We'll just put Lucas and Fluxy in, and yeah, we'll let that run. So there you go, that's running. Happy days. And no Peng. No, I didn't put Peng in. Peng has kept it all nice and quiet. With his singing, apparently. Guys in chat, have you got any other questions for the guys that are here? I'm at the bottom of my question sheet. We've gone off topic a few times as well. We've also overrun a little bit. We were a little bit late starting. But while those questions are coming in, guys, is there anything else you want to talk about or get off your chest or anything at all? Or but otherwise, thank you so much for coming in. Have you guys ever met in real life? Says Clash of Style. Alex, welcome to the stream, man.
No.
You guys ever met in real life?
We live in different places. Like me and Pingu, we live in Sweden, but different parts of Sweden. You have Peng from Spain, Fluxy from Britain, and Lucas from Belgium, and Rick from Poland. So we're spread out all over Europe.
But perfect for the old EU sort of setup. So there we go.
Yeah, definitely. Like that was one of the main aspects when recruiting to the team. It had to be someone from Europe.
Ah, right. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So Hans has got a sound. I need to add the sounds to this overlay. I might have to change my overlay just to get this to work. It's going to go a bit messed up. But there's a sound, right, that we play which no one else understands, but he thinks that Pod will understand this because I think the guy's singing in Swedish. So let's put this on, and you'll need to turn the stream up, man. It's all a little bit messed up. Oh. Yeah, so turn the stream up, and we'll play it in a second. It's Norwegian. How's he going to understand Norwegian, Hans? Right, here we go. Right, I'm going to play it now. Oh, it's not worked? All my sounds are messed up.
The stream is... No.
It's all broken. Rip. Alright, yeah, we'll go back so we can actually see you guys again. That was it. That was an anticlimax. Blame Fluxy. And there was a couple of other...
It's a whole different language.
Yeah, Hans is like, oh, it's similar. I'm like, I know they're next to each other, but it's not the same. Toby Bay asks if you like Ragmonk and Leganberries. I think we're just getting into sort of Swedish stereotypes now. It's disgusting, is it?
Yeah.
Alex has also asked any plans to meet up once COVID is over. I suppose your sort of ultimate goal is to meet up in Poland, yeah, for the Worlds. Is that sort of that the aim of when you first meet up?
Exactly. That's that's the only way to meet up, honestly. Unless everyone comes to Sweden, the majority of the team is here. So
yeah, because there's two of you in Sweden, everyone else needs to come to you. I like that.
Yeah,
that works, man. Happy days. Guys, thank you so much for coming on today. So apologies for the technical issues. Well done on your wars tonight. We started a little bit late, guys, because we had some technical issues. So we had some technical issues, and we also had some other stuff. We are going to raid into Clash with Style in a second. He's now in a panic and trying to go live as we speak. So we're going to go and watch Brian Fan Club do some wars, and also watch Cubes. But I'm just going to type all this in. Anything else you want to say, or anything at all? Fill the air, guys.
Well, thanks for having us on. It was
thanks for the invitation.
Guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that wasn't too painful.
Yeah, definitely.
I hope you understood my accent enough. So, but yeah, happy days.
We understand you.
Happy days. That's what Rick said before you guys went live. Before we went live, Rick was like, "So I understand like half of what you're saying, maybe 50%." I'm like, "Okay, good." I've cracked a couple of jokes, and they've absolutely bombed with Rick. So his face is just stayed totally deadpan. I'm like, "Okay, you've totally missed what I've said there." So no one understands me. Lucas, man, it's what it is. The poll, who's the most annoying? Oh, we have to wait until the poll is finished. Oh, Fluxy's won it by a million miles. Fluxy, officially, poll was he didn't. Pod says he didn't vote, which definitely means you did, man.